Hey everyone, welcome to Make It Rock, the show where I show you how I make it rock and how you can too. Although we're going to be talking about something a little bit more, a little bit broader here today. Um, we're going to be talking. We're actually going to be, mourning a little bit. Maybe are we? I don't know. Dearly beloved, we are gathered here on this day to remember a content creation platform known as YouTube. We remember how much joy it used to bring us, and how much fun we used to have on YouTube. But unfortunately, all things must come to an end. And I don't know if it's actually ended. It's just something that is worth talking about. Let's see who we got here. I got SynthWorks. Welcome. Noticed YouTube having many issues past few months. Channels getting banned. Yeah, it is absolutely crazy. But welcome. Welcome Studio 6+1. Welcome Dave, Jenny. So good to see you. We got Raymond McGurk in the house. Good to see you, man. Jade Star, thanks for sending everybody over here in the great demo of the Frames pack. Hello, Sal Caruso. Welcome. Lovely wife from downstairs. And Leela, of course, one of our great mods here on the channel. Yeah. So, this is a multi-pronged sort of thing. I think where I'm gonna start at is something that I noticed. So, I went to a live show yesterday, and not yesterday. Oh my god. It's been that kind of a start of a week, but it was on Saturday night. I went to see a live show. I'm not going to talk about that too much here tonight. We're going to talk about that in the post game after you rock for the members tomorrow. I'll be getting into all the fun details of that. But one thing that I noticed that I thought was kind of interesting, that there was two bands. Hello, Ed Zielinski, by the way. There were two bands that opened up the show, and I thought both of them were great, especially the first opening band, Devora, was really awesome. But one thing that I noticed was my initial thing was like, okay, I like this band. I'm going to go to YouTube and I'm going to check them out. And the first band that was on had I think about like 2.4 thousand subscribers, and I was like, wow. And then the second band that was on had 1.3 thousand subscribers. So I'm like, holy crap, that's like these people are touring nationally. They're like they have about as just a few more subscribers than I do. I'm like, what the hell is going on here? So, but now if you go over to their Instagram page, they have thousands of subscribers over there. So I think the strategy must be, and maybe there's a good reason for this, the strategy must be not YouTube. And I'm curious why that is, why they're going for the TikTok and they're going for Instagram, and not so much. It doesn't seem to be a lot of concern about YouTube. So that's one aspect to this whole thing that I've been noticing lately. Another thing is the content ID thing is getting even worse. Now you may remember. You have to go back in your memory banks about 2 weeks. I did a live show on Saturday, and it was the Halloween show that I did. And you may know, you may say, well, what Halloween show? Because it's not on your channel. Yeah, I know it's not on my channel, and I'll tell you why it's not on my channel. The reason it's not on my channel is because I did a cover song on that show of Sweet Dreams. Now, if what actually ended up happening, it's not the song itself that got the show blocked. It was because a rapper covered. So there's a rap artist I've never heard of in my life named R.R. Tay, okay, who took parts of Sweet Dreams, made it into their own their own rap song or whatever, and that is what got claimed. Now I thought, okay, well this is an open and shut case, right? I'm going to dispute this and I'm going to win because they don't have any rights to that song. Only if I had covered their actual version of the song, which I did not because I've never even heard of it in my life, that then they would be able to claim it. But I didn't have any part of their actual song in my song. Well, I did the dispute, and I thought most likely what's going to happen is I'm not going to hear anything for 30 days, and then it'll be unblocked. That's not what happened. What actually happened was WMG, Warner Music Group, got back to me, and they said, no, we're upholding the ban. It's blocked. So that's it. End of story. So my show is blocked. The whole show is blocked because I covered a song that a rapper sampled. And this is the kind of stuff that happens on YouTube. And what recourse is there for this? Nothing. There's not a thing you can do. It's gone. If it was banned by if it was blocked by the original artist, then I wouldn't have a problem because that's their right to do that. But this rapper, and I actually did a search and I found another person who had the exact same problem. They used probably the same instrumental that I used, and they also got blocked by this rapper. And I'm just like, how is this allowed to happen? Well, this is part of the it's part of the crazy claim system. You're exactly right. And hello to Michael Zealand. Good to see you, man. Now, then we get into the next kind of thing of this, and that is that I am hello, Forest of the Wolf. Good to see you. Good to see you. I am, I'm a moderator on a bunch of YouTube channels, and some very Leela and Jade and Pete, and so I see everything that goes on, right? And one of the things I've noticed is that views are down everywhere. Like engagement, people in the chat, like the overall, it shows you the number of people that are in the show, that are watching live at any given moment. And it just seems like those numbers continue to go down and down. And not to like, I am not in any way trying to bring out like my tiny little violin, right? But my show on Saturday got, I pre-recorded it, which I usually don't do. It's usually live. But because I was going to this other show, I pre-recorded it. It got like 39. I think it was sitting at about 39 views last I looked, which, I mean, I've been doing that for probably, that show's been going almost over 5 years, I think. And I don't think in that time, you'd have to go way back, years ago to where it would have gotten that kind of low view count. So that's another thing. And Jade says, yet prompting dickheads are able to prompt rubbish scraped music and get it on streaming services. The world is so broken. Yeah. I mean, that's a big part of it. Yeah, you can definitely get strikes for your own music as well. Hey, E Urban, good to see you, man. But yeah, the views seem to be being suppressed, or I don't know. I don't know what it is. It's kind of like the world economy is not very good, but also the YouTube economy is not very good either. It seems like it's kind of happening across the board, and it's been happening for a while that I've been noticing. And I'd say probably over the last 6 months to a year or so, this has been happening, and I've seen it across so many channels. Everywhere I look, it's like I can go to various channels around the traps here and see those views down from where they used to be, with a bunch of different I'm surpassing your saltiness. It's not even saltiness. It's like because I've believed for a long time, very passionately believed, that YouTube is the best place to get your music out, and I still think it is. I still think it is, but it may be not quite what it used to be. And I do think Studio 6 says it seems like there are too many adverts you're watching on catch up. Yeah, and part of the reason why that's part of the reason why I've not done ad monetization on this channel, because I don't want people to have that experience, I don't want to be of course when I see, I see what people make in terms of these ads and stuff, and I think, my goodness, if I monetize this channel, I'm what am I forfeiting? $5? It's not much. The massive channels are down. See, that's what I've wondered too. It's like I know this is definitely happening across the board in our community. I wonder if it's the folks like Venus Theory and Ben Jordan, and I'm sure Fantano is probably fine. Andrew Huang, people like that who are massive YouTube music creators. Are they seeing that happening? And Mr. Beast down by almost half as well. Monetization kind of limits your freedom. Yeah, it does a little bit. And a lot of my shows wouldn't be monetized because, again, the claims. Like I would say, I'd feel pretty confident to say that every rock show that I've ever done has had at least one claim. I don't mind the claims because they don't, you can still watch the show, but I mind the blocks. I now use ChatGPT to find how to do things. Used to use YouTube. See, that's another thing too. I didn't even think of that. I was thinking about, like, well, there's been a flood on YouTube of AI content and AI channels, and you wonder, does that have something to do with it? Because people are just bombarded by all this fake stuff, and then it's like the real things come through, and it's like, oh, it's just another thing, browser skips all ads. Yeah, I mean, there's definitely ways around that stuff, but you didn't hear that from me, and I'm not advocating for it at all. My ability to swear is not worth yeah. That is oh geez, yeah, the AI bubble is gonna burst. What will that mean? The tech channels are being hit hard. So, there's some people that think that, like, this AI stuff is not bad, and I'm just kind of like, I don't know. I think it's potentially a big problem, and we're not the only ones that are thinking this, because we got over here, you got the YouTube subreddit, the decline of YouTube. Let me start by so this was a year ago. So already 1 year ago, I'm storing up firewood and dried food. It might be a good thing to do that. And yeah, the shorts. I've tried to get into the shorts, and I just can't. I can't make myself do it. I really need to, but that's another matter. The over promotion of low effort content. It's insane how YouTube changed the videos that seem like they took time and effort to create to becoming a cesspool of 15-second shorts. So there you go with the shorts. Mainly a result of the community showing a larger interest in short form content. And while it isn't 100% YouTube's fault, it's still annoying. Hey, Pete Johns, welcome. Pete definitely, probably knows a thing or two about what's going on lately with YouTube. Combined with the fact that I can't hide the shorts, despite never wanting to watch them, few changes have made me more mad than this one. And yeah, have you seen, hey, Hugh Caldwell as well, welcome. Have you seen, like, when you go to look for, you go to search for a video, and especially if it's something obscure, and you just come up with an endless list of, like, shorts. And Sal Caruso, did I said hello to you, didn't I? If I didn't, hello. But yeah, you come up with an endless list of shorts, and somewhere in there, there's videos. Now there is a way around that. You can go up to the top and you can select only like long form videos. There's there's a tab where you can hit, but most people wouldn't even probably think to do that. So you're just scrolling through endless shorts to try to find the one thing, especially if it's an older specific video that you're looking for. They really try to bury that in shorts that are completely unrelated. Um, so in addition to that, we have the I don't actually remember this one, but the removal of mid-video polls. This is a pretty niche feature that a lot of people may not have an opinion on, but it seemed like a totally useless removal. Yeah, they not only do they add things to YouTube for no reason, hello leaderboard, but they also remove things that are useful. The one that I remember, and I always think about, is you used to be able to put text on the screen in a video, especially if like you misspoke or something like that, and you wanted to like correct, put the correct information up on the screen. You used to be able to go in and do that. You could add a little bit of text to the screen, and then they took that one away. That was a while ago that happened. Ed Zielinski says YouTube is still kind of tied up with long form content, and they really missed the bus on short form. Yeah, they're kind of a day late and dollar short on all things. And E. Urban says, and the kids will watch their stupid brain rot videos, sometimes on more than one device. Yes, absolutely. YouTube is trying to compete with TikTok too much. Definitely true. And yeah, it's very frustrating. I will say that. So when I search for a topic using the search, this might be the thing I just mentioned. I never get more than 5 videos along the topic I suggested, and it just becomes another homepage. If I wanted videos viewers also watched, oh yeah. So when you search, that's the other thing. When you search, you get your list, and you get down. Maybe there'll be like 3 or 4 videos, and then they're like, you may also be interested, and it's totally unrelated stuff. And then you have to scroll down, and you have to kind of see there's little demarcations, but they're kind of hard to see where that content ends and where the actual search begins again. So it gets really hard to even find things. So I could imagine if somebody was looking for a video of mine, and maybe they knew a few things about it, but they didn't remember the exact title or something. It could be a minefield trying to find it. So this bubble of interest that YouTube is trying to foster is infuriating and honestly kind of alarming. Let people explore new topics. Don't shove BS we didn't search for down our throats. Yeah, that exactly. Then there's a removal of the channels tab on YouTube channels. Literally, what was the point of this? Now, instead of having easy access to YouTubers with multiple channels or channels with similar content, oh yeah, I remember this. They had if you had several channels, which a lot of people do, you used to be able to go to the channels tab and you'd be able to see all the channels that creator has. I do remember that, and I wish they would bring that back. That was a nice thing. Hello, Russ8889. Russ says YouTube has fucked the small musician for short content. Yes. Pete John says here, YouTube is a victim of Alphabet/Google moving from a search content company to an ads/data company. That is also very true. And yes, the enshittification thing, I was kind of getting to that one as well. Everything that we see, and hello, Jerdish. I also don't like the handle thing that they've done. YouTube, Jeremy, that's who you are. I have to go through the roll. See now, when I see these names, I have to go through the Rolodex in my mind and think, okay, who is this actually? YouTube Shorts surpassed TikTok. I've been watching content about content. Yes, suckflation, absolutely. So, yeah, we can get back into what this was saying, and the ads too. The ads were good. I've been on premium for a while, but I remember and part of the reason I got onto premium was because the ads were just ridiculous. And I know that, there's people like Pete and like Jade who are very considerate and they try to keep the ads to a minimum. But there were other, like news and sports channels that I was watching, and it was literally like every 5 minutes you'd have to sit through like two ads. I'm just like, I can't take this anymore. I'm just gonna pay the 14. It's like paying a ransom almost. It's like, no, I don't want these ads. I'll pay the $15 a month or whatever. It's fine. Um, but yeah, there's a lot of ads and a lot more ads because the ads aren't as effective as they used to be, and so they make up for it by having more of them. Um, Google is pushing AI more than Microsoft. Wonder why? New ID checks, maybe, maybe. Um, so just look at Discord and Twitch. There's all sorts of activities, engagement tools that appeal to kids and gamers. YouTube has become old school. And that's why another thing that YouTube lately, they have rolled out. My goodness, there is so much that they've rolled out just recently. In fact, I can tell you about a new feature that I don't even know that all of you have, but I apparently have it. They have a new courses feature now. This is something like Pete or Jade might really be interested in, especially. So you can take old content that you have or new content, but they're a little bit strict about, like, it has to be very education focused. You can't have any bad words in it. It has to be really really targeted as a how to, as a course. And you can create a title for a course and you can group a bunch of videos together as a course, whether they're videos you've already created or new videos. So that's a new thing. I hadn't even heard about that one, but that's a new thing that you can do now. Hello, Slam Dunk 70, welcome. What does that mean? When your ad interrupts the video, it makes me hate your product. Yeah. And there's a lot of I've gotten used to the idea that somewhere in the middle of a video, the creator is just going to go, now, before we get to this next thing, let me tell you about BetterHelp, or let me tell you about NordVPN. Your data is not safe. So I just learned, and now they have a little thing sometimes that you can, like a little white dot, and that tells you where the end of the ad is. So I just skip ahead to that. I understand it because I can see it from both sides, and I understand, and honestly, I'd probably do it too if it were offered to me. So, but I've just gotten used to that being a fact of life. There's gonna be a random ad read in the middle of a video, and it's part of YouTube. In-house ads are the new norm for creators. Yeah, well, they did do a lot of stuff. They've rolled out. They rolled out some new features, or are rolling out new features as far as the ads go, where you can actually like put your own ads in, or you can take ads out after the fact, which is good. I like that. I hope someday they get to the point too where you can actually like replace a video. And I realize there's some issues with doing that because, but there are times where you just have like minor errors or something that you want to fix, and you can't really do it without re-uploading the video, and it's kind of a pain. Jeremy says here, note to self, put reading glasses on before sending words made with my phone. Yeah. If you're doing an ad read, it better be entertaining. I really never know because I skip ahead. I skip through it. Amelia says, I'd much rather have an ad read live than a random ad popping in. Was in the middle of a yoga class when that happened, and it was awful. Yeah, and that's the thing too. Like, they should really keep it to a minimum as far as being in the middle of videos. At the beginning and end, that wasn't so bad because it used to just be like, oh, there's one like skippable ad at the beginning, one skippable ad at the end. It's not that big of a deal. But then they started sticking all these videos or all these ads in the middle of it, and yeah, there's some of it I think you really can't even control. And Pete says here, and only very few of them actually tag their videos as paid promotion. Yeah. There's a lot of stuff that like one of the things I was wondering is like if I did a thing where if I did a thing where I had like if I did a thing on Patreon where I said like you could put an ad for whatever you want to put an ad for, like, if Jade had a show coming up or Pete had a show coming up or uh Leela had a show coming up, they wanted to put an ad in my show for their show, would I have to put on that that it has a promotion in it? Because, you could look at it that way. I don't know. It's a lot of gray areas there. Um, Meat Canyon does them in a way that's not just him saying buy this thing. It's a whole production with his signature style and humor. I would expect nothing less from Meat Canyon. Meat Canyon is awesome. Hey, James Myers, welcome. Manscaped. Oh yeah, Manscaped. I would definitely do a Manscaped ad read. In the middle of a song, it makes me turn out. Yeah, that would be suboptimal. Jade Star says the thing is they offer you to place ads in the video and it's totally random if they trigger or not, so you have no control. Yeah. Like, and I think the control is going to get even less because they want to cram more in there. And you're obviously not going to want that. Jeremy says premium account for many years and now ad reads start to grind my gears out of hand sometimes. Yeah. I just know like and I know there's certain people, if I go there, there's going to be an ad in the middle of their video, and it is what it is. I get punished for using ad block, but Google makes money running ads on my work and I get nothing. So fair is fair. Yeah, there you go. Amelia says vegan creators can't stop ads for, say, meat products and viewers get pissed. It's not fair for anyone. Oh yeah. You have very little control over what happens, as far as the ads, what ads get played and so forth. I mean, I think you can say certain ads you don't want to see anymore. And whether that works or not, can't even tell you that. I think it would have to be a paid promotion. So Michael, you do think it would have to be. See, I'm kind of with you. I think maybe that could be true, but it's a big gray area. All right, let's take a look at something else. So this is on NewTubers, another Reddit community. And this was 4 months ago. Now I'm consistently seeing creators with millions or even hundreds of thousands of views get very low views. Back in the day, it seemed views were very consistent with subscriber count or at least very reasonable amount of views. I suspect TikTok and YouTube Shorts have a lot to do with this. Are you guys seeing the same thing? So a lot of my favorite creators have been complaining about metrics. Oh yeah, I've noticed it both on my channel and those I watch. So there's more people saying they've been seeing viewership declines. We have this one here. Why YouTube views are declining for many creators, even as more people watched than ever. And this is from March 27th of this year. The internet promised us infinite choice, and for a while that felt true. But as platforms like YouTube mature, a strange and paradoxical shift is taking place. Despite more creators and more content than ever, viewer attention is increasingly being funneled toward a smaller and smaller slice of that universe. Now imagine this. A not so distant future where 100 ultra polished, endlessly engaging YouTube channels dominate the landscape. They're not just popular, they're irresistible. They produce daily content that people genuinely want to watch. High quality, emotionally engaging, addictive in the best and worst ways. And just watching a few of them each day could leave little room for anything else. This isn't just a thought experiment, it's a warning and a glimpse into what the online attention economy could look like. So there's another one too. And you know what that makes me think of? There probably was a time, like, you remember, television hasn't been around very long in the grand scheme of the world. There's a much bigger chunk of human existence where there wasn't TV than where there was, because TV only came into existence in the late 40s, early 50s, and I'm sure there was a time where TV first came out and it was a bit of the Wild West and anything goes, and very quickly it started to organize into networks and all the things that come with television nowadays, and it's very, very difficult, if not impossible, for your average person to get into television. Well, what if YouTube goes the same way? What if we've been enjoying this free for all, and now the free for all could be ending? Now, none of this is happening overnight because YouTube is an institution. It's not like it's going to disappear tomorrow. But it could be changing, and it could be certainly disadvantageous, especially for music creators on YouTube. Pete says YouTube's definition of paid promotion is content where the creator receives money or free product services in exchange for inclusion, or where a third party's brand message is integrated. So that makes me think it probably would be considered that. By the way, hello DJ Big Red, good to see you, man. Damn, if you can remember the Wild West, then you're really old. uh, uh, Pete says, but yeah, it's a complex beast, and local laws come into play as well. And then Jade says, actually, TV desktop views are up lately across YouTube. Yeah. So like, I don't know. I don't know what's going on here, but things are definitely changing. And I remember the early days of YouTube. Do you remember the Numa Numa guy? Guy sitting in his chair, not unlike me, sitting here in this chair with his headphones on. It is just dancing around. He's having a good time, and got that song on, and boom, huge viral video. Everybody's seen it. Everybody's watched it. And there's a bunch of things that you could think of. The kid that bit the other kid's finger or whatever. See, we remember this stuff. There's stuff like that being uploaded to YouTube every single day to this day, and nobody's watching it. Oh yeah, the Star Wars kid. See, it was the biggest regret I have in my entire life was not doing YouTube like 15 years ago, because I should have been. And I had the rudiment, and you didn't need much. I mean, yeah, I had a camcorder back then that I could upload the video to my computer. Yes, it would be difficult by today's standards, but yeah. And you had the rating system, like Pete says here. I remember the star rating. They should bring back the star ratings. I don't know. I don't know how I feel about that. But hello, Sean Chandler, welcome. But there was definitely a thing where it felt like anybody could just upload something, And the early YouTube, it was almost like America's Funniest Home Videos. If you ever saw that with Bob Saget, rest in peace, Bob Saget. But if you remember America's Funniest Home Videos, it was that kind of stuff that was big on YouTube. And then all of a sudden it became, money got involved, and it became very serious very fast. And yeah, the expectations are much higher these days. There was an episode of South Park featuring the YouTube memes. Yeah, I remember that. Sneezing Panda, Purple Rain. Oh, Chocolate Rain. Yeah. That guy's really cool, actually. Tazon Day. He's awesome. I think did he like something of mine or something one time? It might have just been like a Twitter post or something. I was stoked. I was like, hey, that's Tazon Day. Slam Dunk 70 says YouTube might end up like AM radio in 10 years. Yeah. No, we don't know. We don't know what's going to happen we don't know what's going to happen, what the future is going to be. I would love to see a new service pop up, but the problem that we have is that Google and YouTube, and yes, YouTube is part of Google. It is indeed part of Google. YouTube is so, and Google is so humongous. I can't imagine anybody creating anything like this, because what would immediately happen, and they've tried. There's been tries over the years to create alternative YouTube services. Remember Dailymotion? Dailymotion. There was a bunch of sites. Vimeo. Anybody remember Vimeo? Still, these things still exist, I think, but they never really did what they were hoping to do. I don't think. Um, so you could go and you could create another YouTube like service where you can upload videos and go live. Remember, there were also live things. It was like UStream was a thing for a while, and yeah, um, but you can create that, but I feel like YouTube is probably just going to slap you with a cease and desist, and or they'll just buy you up, and you'll be gone. So it's very hard, once these companies amass so much power, and when we talk about money in terms of billions and trillions of dollars, that's what we're really talking about is power, because you don't need there's nothing that you need to buy for like $1 trillion. There's nothing out there that's like YouTube is saving up so they could buy this. When you have that much money, it gives you power, it gives you influence, it gives you control over the entire environment, and you can kind of lay it out the way you want it to be. And any competition you can flatten. So it's really going to be tough. Um, Now, you did have a time where there were some really popular social media sites like MySpace and so forth, Friendster, if you remember that. Like those those sites kind of fell away. They were popular for a minute, but they fell away. But now the power is so consolidated with like Meta and Google. It just feels like without some kind of government intervention, they're not going anywhere. And the Patreon and Nebula are out there, but paid only. Yeah, and I mean, Patreon is really like, I look at Patreon as a complimentary thing. Because most of the YouTubers I know have Patreon. I have a Patreon. Most YouTubers have a Patreon, but I'm not using Patreon as like my main thing. Patreon is like I use this, and then I tell people about the Patreon, and some of those people will go over and join the Patreon, which you can do, by the way. Patreon.com/Thomas Christ. But that's the thing about it. It is those are kind of compliment. And I think even Nebula, because most of the people that I see using Nebula, it's like it's like you can get additional content if you go there. So it's kind of like a Patreon type of thing. But as far as something that's actually going to replace like YouTube itself, I'm just not seeing that out there. They buy up the startups just to dissolve them, exactly, and they have to do that. They have to do that because if anything gains a foothold, then they're in trouble. So they're not going to let that happen, and that's bad for all of us. And I saw what my wife said here. You know what I'm going to say is the root problem. I know what you're going to say is the root problem, and you're probably right about that. In fact, you're definitely right about that. Capitalism. But that's kind of like one channel equals the big PP channel. Yeah. It's kind of, yeah, it is kind of like it is kind of like that. So let's take a look here at we have about 20 minutes left. So YouTube updates August 20. So this is August 2025. It's concern is circulating in forums and communities of content creators about an alleged YouTube update on August 10th. Well, we're in the future now, so we know whether that would have happened or not. I don't know if this did. It would have negatively affected views of many channels. However, a detailed analysis of YouTube's official statements and discussions in the creator community suggests there was no single drastic change on that specific date that impacted everyone equally. Rather, it is a series of adjustments and changes to the platform's policies throughout the summer of 2025, the consequences of which some channels may be experiencing more noticeably. Discussions on the forums appear to focus on a general perception of instability in video performance, which many attribute to unannounced changes to YouTube's recommendation algorithm. While the platform makes constant adjustments, the themes that have resonated the most with creators during this period are increased emphasis on quote authentic content, which like that's bullshit. There's no increased emphasis on authentic content. Come on. Uh, YouTube has stepped up its efforts to penalize content deemed low quality, repetitive, or automatically generated without meaningful human input. This means that channels that rely on repurposing third party content, AI generated videos without substantial editing or commentary or content formats may have seen a decline in their reach and therefore their views. I've not seen that's not been my experience. If this supposedly happened on August 10th, I can't say that I've noticed it. that all that stuff is still very, very prevalent. Um, Replacing the trending tab with YouTube charts. This change to the way popular videos are highlighted could have altered visibility for certain types of content. I mean, they got rid of they don't even have trending anymore. YouTube Charts offers a more detailed focus on micro trends and specific categories. Okay, I don't really know about that one. Temporary technical issues. Some technical issues related to ad revenue metrics and video uploads were reported in early August. Although YouTube confirmed and fixed these issues, they have caused temporary fluctuations in some channel statistics, leading to confusion in the belief of a broader algorithm change and seasonal fluctuations. It is important to consider that summer in the Northern Hemisphere is usually a period of changes in online content consumption habits due to vacations. This seasonality can cause natural drops in views for certain types of channels. So yeah, in the summertime you'll see things go down a little bit. Pete says here, unfortunately, a lot of folks got started in 2020, 2021 when YouTube was super hot. People went back outside, companies stopped buying all the ads, and everyone's view and money went down. Yeah. The fact that I have a job that didn't exist 10 years ago is still pretty darn rad. Yeah. No. That's, that's the whole thing of it. And it's like, we're seeing here, Jeff Geerling. I don't know Jeff Geerling, but he says that YouTube views are down. Don't panic. So why should we not panic? So September 15th update, YouTube Insider confirmed that the issue is related to viewers who have ad blockers enabled. YouTube's been in an arms race with ad blocking tools, and the fallout is a substantial cut in counted views for creators who have a large audience watching from desktop. Many YouTube content creators, myself included, noticed something in early to mid-August. Views were down. And I would say that is funny because I kind of said it's been over the last like 6 months to a year or so, but August, it's certainly been more noticeable since then. So that could be. After being on the platform since 2006, though for me not being a professional YouTuber until about 5 years ago, I'm used to seasonal dips, adjustments, and new tweaks to algorithm or layout design changes. But this was substantial. I had 4 10 videos in a row, which is unprecedented. And I assume he's talking about like when you put up a video up, it shows you like what ranking it is out of 10. Now, I think if it's less than 10, it just shows as like 10 out of 10. So yeah, that's generally not a good thing. I mean, my content could be just terrible all of a sudden, and I've lost all but my core audience. But there are other explanations, especially when the exact same thing happened to a large number of my peers on YouTube. So, what happened anecdotally? For my own channels, Jeff Geerling is okay. The view counts on new long form videos took an absolute nosedive sometime in early August, and they haven't recovered. What's strange is the raw count of likes, people who watched the video and appreciated it enough to hit thumbs up, was consistent, and stranger still, total overall revenue was consistent, and this meant the ratio of likes per view and revenue per view went way up, which I mean, outside of finance creators and scammers, sometimes hard to distinguish the two. It's hard to break past a 3 to 5 revenue per mile, so I can't complain there. But that's just so. What happened scientifically? Dan pulled the numbers for all 3 of my channels correlate views and likes, build a view-like ratio, and found a pretty surprising change, which syncs up with the same change he's noticed on a number of other channels. So there's this, and then there's this one. and then there's this one. And I think there's more to the data, and there's some creators who seem unaffected. So what's the problem? That's what we want to get to. What's the problem? The problem is, for at least many creators, views are currently king when it comes to things like sponsorship deals, promotions, etc. For me, it's less a problem as I take sponsorships sparingly and don't rely on that revenue for business continuity. Um, in the end, whether you like modern YouTube or not, view counts are down, possibly for shorts as well, but it's not clear why. So all this to tell us it's not clear why. You have to laugh sometimes. That's funny. Um, but yeah, uh, Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy. Don't panic. All right. UBO Origin does the trick. Just refresh. All right. Hello, Seagull. It looks like my heart. Yeah, that's what I was thinking too. I couldn't see any kind of real patterns on there that were immediately identifiable. It's kind of all over the place. But it just goes to show though that people are noticing this, and it's a thing. It's definitely a thing that's happening. Whether it's permanent or not, that's what we don't know. Because these things fluctuate, and sometimes there's ups and downs, like the seasonal thing. There is certainly a decrease in the summertime. Well, we're headed into the wintertime. Not my favorite time of the year, but we'll see if that changes things. And yeah, we are getting further away from 2020, the golden era of YouTube, because everybody was trapped in their freaking house. We're not all trapped in our freaking house anymore. And we're also competing with AI in every front of our lives. And Synthworks says here, think about how much machine learning AI will get on Windows 11 Copilot. We're becoming obsolete by design. Linux is the new way forward, online only. I don't know about Linux, but maybe. All right. But yeah, it's just something to think about. And then the big question becomes, and this is the part where I'm going to be woefully insufficient on, and that is, what do we do about it? And the sad fact of the matter is, other than being the best us that we can be and putting in the work, there's really not a whole heck of a lot you can do. Because we can't tell YouTube, hey, don't do this anymore. I wish we did. I wish there was a much better communication between content creators and YouTube, and that we could say to YouTube, hey, I know they do their little surveys and stuff every once in a while. How much that affects things, I don't know. And I think YouTube is aware of the problem as well, because I feel like that's why they're rolling out so many new features. Because generally speaking, if you're doing well, you're not going to make a lot of changes, because you're thinking, hey, we're doing good. Most corporations, especially big corporations, very risk averse. They're like, we don't want to change anything, because what we're doing right now is making us a lot of money. If they see the money going down, that's when they are like, oh, we need to do something. So and the fact that they're rolling so many things out, so many new features, so many new design. Some of this stuff just seems like arbitrary. It's like, why did you change the layout of the way YouTube looks and stuff, But that's the kind of thing that you would do if you're looking at things and saying, we don't love where we're at, and they're at least seeing some trends that are concerning, is what I think. Because otherwise, I think they would just leave it. And the fact that they're not leaving it leads me to believe, and you could either agree or disagree with me on this. You won't hurt my feelings, but it seems to me like they may be seeing something that they're not liking, and so they're trying to put a bunch of new stuff out there. Now when it comes to things like, well, we could change platforms, there's Twitch, but like, first of all, Twitch doesn't let you put up pre-recorded videos, and um Twitch is really bad for discovery. And so that's a problem. And Pete says, "Yeah, we got this." The thing about the tech bro folks, they have short attention spans. Whatever the platforms and systems of the future are, the consistent and resilient will still be here. Yeah, and that's what I was saying too. Like, YouTube is almost too big to fail. It's not going anywhere. It's you're not gonna like see the YouTube app just disappear from your phone tomorrow. It's still gonna be there. It'll still be there next year. I guarantee it will be. But in 10 years, 5 years, I don't know. I don't miss the days when I had to run down 12 flights of stairs to get on the phone on the wall just to get a wrong number. Yeah. Now we see. Now it comes up. It's like probably spam, so we just ignore it. Urban says, for no reason, the YouTube logo will be on the right side of the screen tomorrow. Yeah. It's like we've had a series of focus groups. This is happening at YouTube headquarters, probably right now as we speak. We've had a series of focus groups, and we really believe when the YouTube logo is on the right side of the screen, we get a 5% increase in viewer retention. So what we want to do, we want to move that over there. So can we do that immediately, effective today? And then a week later, they'll be like, actually, we found the reverse to be true, so move it back over to the other side. Hello, Vidal, welcome. Time to get out of the digital ghettos. Keep your YouTube while promoting your own websites. That's true as well. I do have a rudimentary website up there, thomaschrist.net. You can check that out. Costs me a lot of money per month to keep that up there. But yeah. Let's see. So what we do going forward, I'm not really sure. In the long run, maybe we, honestly, maybe we just have to get out there and do more stuff in the real world. I mean, I, I don't know. That's a tried and true strategy. It seems like, one of the things that's interesting is like, with all this technology and people are so overwhelmed by technology all the time that there's kind of like this little resurgence of like people just like going out into the world and talking to people face to face and stuff. It's a strange concept. It's a novel concept. It's crazy enough that it just could work. Oh man, thank you so much for that. Appreciate that. Synthworks, you are a legend. Yeah, I remember going to websites. YouTube has rolled out a new feature that yeah. Just keep doing you rock. Fun show. All right, thank you. I will try my best. We've gotten to the point where I can do the show. It was getting a little bit a little concerning. But yeah, I'm gonna record it tonight, and we'll do it, and it'll happen. At least for one more week. So yeah, keep those submissions coming in. Thomaschrist.net is the place you want to get featured for probably an upcoming show at this point. Although you never know. I haven't actually pulled the list yet, so if you sneak one in real fast right now, you might still get in there. But thank you for listening to me rant about this. It's been something that I've been noticing for a while, and I thought it popped in my head. I was like, yeah, I think other people might also sympathize with that and understand that. So a lot of the links, a lot of the things that I talked about here in the video, I did put down in the description. So if you want to check those things out on your own and read all the comments and so forth, then you can do that. And yeah, we got You Rock coming up tomorrow. You Rock TV and the post game show for members. So if you're not a member, become a member of the channel, and you'll get the post game show. I'm going to talk about the live show that I went to this weekend. It was very cool. And then on Saturday we'll be doing we're doing Hour of Rock. So come and check that out. Probably just gonna stick to original music because you saw what happened on Halloween. You can't even count on you're gonna be blocked by somebody who sampled the song that you covered. It's like, all right, well, anyway, I appreciate y'all being here. And I hope you'll come back. We're here every week doing this one. Sometimes I do music stuff, and sometimes I just do things like this where it's in a more broader perspective. But hopefully you found it interesting. Anyway, Jade Star has a member stream coming up, so you'll be dumped over there. And if you're not a member over there, I highly encourage it. Jade's awesome. And other than that, much love. Take care, and of course, keep rocking. Good night, everyone.